Hello and welcome to another Whiteboard workout where we talk about the sales skills to help you win the game. I'm your host Julian Redding and thank you as always for sharing your time with me. Now whenever I start with a business, I'm asked the same questions around average transaction value and deal cycle time and in fact all of those who know me, have been on my personal coaching, know I talk about two things that we know for certain. You target a number of days to hit it. Everything outside of that isn't important. That's what we need to do. We're salespeople. We achieve, we hit target. So what we want to do is sell more average transaction value in less time, sales days. So whenever we're looking at deal cycle time, my objective is to really understand each part of the sales engagement and help people sell quicker, because this is what we need to do. We need to convince our customers quicker that we're the people who they should be buying from. I'll give you a quick example. I was working recently with a business and they were struggling with their deal cycle time, like a number are. I said to them, so help me understand, who are we selling to? And the guy said, well, we typically sell to the chief data officer. And I thought, well, great, up high already, so good start. And I said, well, and what does that person say to you? And they said, well, that they say we're not getting enough value out of our data. Step back. Wow, that's fantastic. Now what? Okay, be with me for a second here. At this point, the guy stands up. He gets his pen. He starts to write all over the whiteboard. He does this tremendous amount of drawings and technology and arrows and everything linked in for the next half hour of my life. And at the half hour point, I had to go, okay, please, I get it, stop there. Half hour, I'm never getting back. I said to him, what next? He said, well, next we enter into a series of workshops with the customer where we educate them all about all the different things that we are doing. It's like, right, okay. And how quickly do you tend to close? Well, it's about 11 to 13 visits with the customer where we're proving the concepts before we get to proposal stage and start to close out. It's like, wow, that seems an enormous amount. And guess what? The win rate was 1 in 13 deals. Wonder why. Okay, let's unpick this, shall we? Let's put our sales brains on and think of the customer. Because for me, I want to sell to how my customer buys. So my customer says to me, Julian, I'm not getting enough value out of my data. I'm going to say, that's interesting, Mr. Customer. What's that costing you? Who else in the business is affected by it? What steps have you taken to fix that problem yourself? If I can work a solution with the team, what date do you want this fixed by? Right at that point, I've completely transformed the trajectory of the deal because I'm actually into the business. I'm into selling. I'm not into proving I am the smartest person in the room. Now, that's the mistake I see of a lot of salespeople. They focus on proving themselves to be the cleverest person in the room. They've got all the knowledge and they want to share all that knowledge with their potential customer. The customer buys outcomes. They don't buy function. They buy outcomes. So what we've got to do is connect with them. We've got to connect and understand what their perception of value is. If we're not selling to how our customer buys, we're into that scenario of 13 visits and ridiculously long deal cycle times. Our job is to reduce that trajectory, to bring that customer to a decision. We are salespeople. We sell the date, we sell the decision. But let's go right back to discovery, because discovery is the key point where people fail in terms of reducing their deal cycle time, because they get into a continuation loop like the example I just gave you before. So what we want to do is really connect with our customer. When we communicate, because we're standing there and we're communicators, everything we're talking about, we want the customer to connect with emotionally so as they trust us. Because people buy people they trust, okay? And I'm going to give you a questioning framework now that will help you prepare to talk to your customer and not bombard them with situation-based questions. This isn't rank Xerox in 1980. So let me walk you through my framework for you to consider having a trial. So the first part I'm going to talk about is investigate. We're going to investigate first and foremost. Then we're going to explore. And only then will we help our customers visualize what we want to achieve. And to obtain this, what we're going to do is we're going to ask 3 question types. We're going to ask open, we're going to ask control, and we're going to ask confirm. And it goes a little bit like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in that order. So what we're doing here is we're not jumping immediately to the solution. We want someone to connect and visualize to it. You know, those of you who know about my psychology background, one of the key eye-openers for me was that the optical nerve stops at the root brain, so we visualize that's what's in our fight or flight, and ultimately drives a core decisioning process within us. So let's look at how this works. So let's take my example of what I talked about. You know, we're investigating here, so we're going to ask open questions. What's that costing you? Who else in the business is impacted by it? Really helping the customer to open up and talk to us about all the business problems. We're then going to use a control question. And my control question would be, okay, so if I can put all that in place, what date would you like this fixed by? And then I wrap it with a confirm question. Okay, so A, B, and C here, we're looking at fixing this date. Okay, great. Well, that's something that we can absolutely do. But before we do get there, I want to just understand a bit more about. So I'm going to explore. I'm going to say, so yeah, we can get this in place for you, Mr. Customer, but let's get into a little bit more detail. So what other lines of business are involved in the decision-making process, how they impacted, and what's in it for them? So we're getting now deep into the business. Selling wide is going to be critical over the next couple of years. Then we use our control question again. So the opportunity is for multiple lines of business to align on this single project and for us to really deliver the business value you're looking for about getting value out of your data. And the final thing again is to confirm. Okay, so we know there's multiple lines of business. We know this is something you want fixed by a certain date. Let me just dig just a little bit deeper because I want to share some thoughts with you. So can I help you, and now into visualize, can I help you with just a few examples of what good looks like and how we've helped other customers? I'm into the social proof part of persuasion now. In control, I'm going to talk about 3 different use case examples where we've delivered success based on what the customer wants to achieve here. Pen's running out. This is vital that these 2 are linked, because what you're going to do is replay the language from there back here. And then your confirm question is wrapping up everything you've talked about and saying, we'll have this solution in place for you by the 31st of March. You're going to pause and you're going to then say at this point what you feel the next step should be. This is a really powerful framework. I've got it working with lots of people I'm coaching. We're getting far more effective first discovery meetings. But this is for you to play with. This is for you to design your own questions within and see how it works. As I always say, sales is about evolution of our skills, adding new things all the time, trying things, tweaking them, because that's basically what I did for a number of years. I'm excited to share this with you because it works so well, but ultimately, you are the judge. So I hope you've enjoyed this short session today. Gives you maybe something new to try with your next customer. I've been Julian. Thank you so much for your time.